So that's why people are so lost. We're lost because we don't understand how to look at the scale. Our labels are lying to us. We don't know how many calories we're eating. But this guy here, he doesn't care. He doesn't care what the label says. All he cares is what information you give him when you step on to this platform.
Back in the West on my chest, flexing my pecs, I been hitting my reps. Too strong to SD, the LA is next. Coast up to the Bay, the LV for best on my.
What's up, y'all? My name is Des White, and for those of you who might be seeing my content for the first time, I'm a personal trainer, and I primarily focus on healthy lifestyles and wellness to educate people on how to live their best lives possible. Today, we're going to talk about why so many people fail with the scale. All right. We rely on a lot of outside information from various sources: YouTube, internet, Facebook, Instagram. And the problem is that there's a lot of distorted and conflicting information out there that frankly just makes the situation worse. So, I know that, there's so many people out there that teach, avoiding the scale and doing all this, just get on the scale once a week or don't get on it at all. There's people that pretty much curse the scale. However, we still see as a population, the most obese developed country in the world. By far, like the next most obese country, I think, is like Canada. And then not too far after that is Mexico, and probably they're just guilty by osmosis. You know what I'm saying? They're so close to the United States that the diet, the SAD diet, standard American diet, has bled over into their countries, and they've started to see obesity rates skyrocket just by being connected to the United States geographically. So to me, it's like, if you were, let's say you were in your car and you saw an accident way up ahead, all right? And you're not going that fast. You may be going like 30 miles an hour, right? But it's real bad accident. Fires, cars piled all up and stuff. You're not going that fast. You got a whole long time. You got a long time to stop or swerve or do something. Are you just going to keep driving slow into this fire, this crash, right into it? You're going to cover your eyes, don't look at it. If I don't look at it, it'll go away. Would you do that? No, nobody would. You'd actually do something to keep yourself from going into that fire, to keep your car, which may have your kids and family in it, from going into that crash. Yet, when we talk about weight in the United States and the fact that it's continuing to get worse, and especially for children, when it comes to a scale, people tell you to cover your eyes. If you're willing to listen, I can help you avoid going and driving right into these, this catastrophe that is obesity in this country. And this is going to be a two-part series because I want to talk about two different factors that regard your weight. Now, some of this stuff I've talked about in the past, but this specific one, I want to talk about why people fail at the scale. And I want to introduce you to somebody who can help you to keep from being obese. Like, you can talk to them every day. They will counsel you. They will tell you exactly what you need to hear, and it'll be up to you to adjust to what they're saying. Now I'm gonna introduce you. Let me go find him real quick. I think his name is Renfo. Now, they may go by other names. It could be any name. It doesn't matter what the name is. But these guys right here, these are the ones that you need to consult with on a regular basis, right? The problem is that there's so many people who just don't know how to tell you how to lose weight. So they're going to tell you not to look at the scale. Meanwhile, people continue to get fatter and fatter and fatter. Okay, how does that end up? You guys explain to me how continuing that practice is going to lead to a reduction in the obesity in this country. Tell me how. Tell me how people not losing weight and people telling people to not look at the fact that they're not losing weight and they're continuing to gain weight just to ignore it. How does that result in a widespread reduction in the obesity rate? Because if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. If you're not looking at it, how many of you guys, if you've struggled with weight in your life, have just, you threw your scale away, or you don't never had one, or you made sure you didn't look at it? You might have had one of stuff, and it's collecting dust somewhere in a cabinet or in the basement, or you ran it over with your car. You did anything possible not to step on that scale, and then you go to your doctor after several months and realize that you gained 15, 20, 30 pounds. I know I talk to these people every day. The problem is that people do not understand how to look at their scale. If you got a car, right, and your car is sputtering, something's wrong with the fuel or spark plugs, you don't really know. Do you then take said car to the mechanic? Would you accept your mechanic telling you, hey, I don't know exactly what's causing this problem, but here is some fuel additive. I want you to dump this in your tank every day, and it'll cover up the symptoms of what's ever wrong. Would you accept that? I wouldn't, but we accept it for our bodies every day. People go in, they get blood pressure, and I do have a series on blood pressure. We're going to talk about my problems with that too. But people do this. They go to the doctor, and the doctor gives you something to cover up the symptoms of whatever the problem is without actually diagnosing the problem. Like, what's the actual problem? What's causing the problem? And even worse, they don't even tell you how to fix it. You know what I'm saying? Until there's some catastrophic issue that requires surgery, because fixing a car takes a whole lot less work than fixing a person. So we have to higher our standards. We have to reframe our thinking, and what is widely being taught doesn't work. I think we can all agree to that. All right. To people telling you not to look at the scale. Why would you not look at the scale? Just so you can forget about it? Don't think about it? Oh, you don't want to be... Look, man. Look, we're going to have to come to we're going to have to have some tough conversations, and we're going to have to come to some straight up realizations that we have to face it if we're going to fix it. Ignoring it, having what people out there just preaching to ignore the scale, that's not going to help anything. So let me tell you guys, all right, this is the first part of this video. We're going to talk about the 3 things that make people fail with their scale. All right. And that's because when you look at the scale, most people go to the scale and they look at it and they say, okay, scale, I need you to tell me something good today. I ate a salad. I ate a salad and I worked out today. I need to lose 5 pounds today. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what people's expectations are. Don't lie. You don't got on your scale. You don't work out one time and then ate a salad. You got on your scale the next day and you thought you was going to lose like 3-4 pounds. You know you did. You know you did. I've done it too. Like, don't lie. Just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is that people don't understand the 3 things that actually affect your weight. And the first 2 are far more significant than the last one, right? So the primary things that actually affect your weight on a day-to-day basis are water. All right, I put these up here. Water. And then digestion, which also entails water to an extent. And then the last one is fat and muscle. Like, you ain't made no significant impact on your fat or muscle mass in one day. Right? So people go to their scale and they expect to say, hey, man, I need to lose 2 pounds today. You know what I'm saying? And then, okay, so over the course of a year, 365 days in a year, how much is that? 730 pounds? Bruh, that's not realistic. So, number one, you need to understand how to look at the scale and understand what it's trying to tell you. Like, he's trying to tell you what's going on. First of all, if you need a digital scale, them old school scales from 1950 with the arm that goes like this, that ain't gonna get it done. We need a digital scale, all right? And you need to be getting on it all the time, every day. And you need to understand that 0.2 pounds in a day is 1.4 pounds a week. That's like close to 70 pounds in a year. But the problem is we're in a fast food nation. So we see all these commercials where, hey, I did the juice cleanse. I lost 20 pounds in 3 weeks. I lost 17 pounds in 3 days. So we get addicted to this fast-paced, I gotta have it now, fast food fitness. And that ain't gonna work, man. It ain't gonna work because that stuff is not sustainable. You have to have a sustainable lifestyle if you want to control and have a weight that's consistent long term. So let's get back to our three points here. All right. When you eat from day to day, your water weight's going to fluctuate, and there are some external factors. Like a lot of guys taking all these pre-workouts and stuff with creatine. Well, for every gram of creatine in your muscle mass, your creatine and ATP, all that stuff takes place and is stored in your muscles. So for every gram of creatine in your muscle, you got 2 ounces of water. So you can store a ton of water in your muscles, all right, in your body in general, but in your muscles, all right. You can store it in your skin. You can have extra muscle water in your intestines. So because as the food that you eat passes through your intestines, your body siphons water out, all right, through your small intestine, through your large intestine, through your colon. Your body's continuously taking water out until, like, right before it gets to a point of excrement, your body's taking that last little bit of water out of your intestines, right? So, but you can store water in your skin. I mean, you can have so much water in your body. And so the problem with a lot of people is, like, you're eating a lot of packaged food, a lot of sodium. So instead of your body getting rid of that water, it's storing it. All right, so you get on the scale, there's nothing moving because you ate too much sodium the day before. All right, this is part of the problem that's contributing to blood pressure issues and heart disease and all this. Too much sodium, right? So from one day to the next, you're not seeing progress because you ate too much packaged food, too much salt, too much sodium, too much sugar that causes you to hold water, right? Because your body does not like it, all right? And then your digestion. You eat stuff that doesn't agree with your body. These fake cheeses, fake shredded cheese. This stuff is mostly plastic, right? So you eat this stuff and then it gets in your intestines and then it starts blocking stuff up. It's hard for your body to pass this stuff through. So a lot of times people get on the scale. Your checklist needs to be like, when you step on the scale, okay, did I take a dump in the last 24 hours? Like, you have to ask yourself this. Because sometimes you can actually be making progress, but you ate something that didn't agree with you, and it caused some delays in your digestion, especially if you have a sensitive digestive system, which I have. It just caused some delays in your bowel movement, and so you aren't as regular as you need to be, and your poops aren't as the right solidity. I think that's the right word for it. Like, they're either like sporadic and broken up, which is unhealthy stool. They're too hard and then little pellets, unhealthy stool. It needs to be one piece, and you need to sit down and it needs to smoothly flow right on out in one big old piece. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it might be uncomfortable for you to hear and for me to talk about, but it's real, right? So if you just go to the bathroom regularly, but it's all over the place, chunks and diarrhea and all kind of stuff, something's not right with your gut health. And so your scale is going to be sporadic. There's a lot of people out there who are actually doing the right things, but because you're eating certain types of foods, it's messing with your digestive system. And so it takes a while for it to show on the scale, which gets you discouraged, and then you quit. All right. For example, I had this girl I'm doing coaching, weight loss coaching for, and she made a pot of beans. She showed me, sent me pictures. She sent me pictures like where she had the serving of beans. I didn't know she was eating beans all week. Now, beans are healthy, right? But just because it's healthy doesn't mean it's going to help you lose weight. This is the differentiation that you need to make, all right? Healthy foods don't necessarily mean that you're going to lose weight. And then there's timing, right? So this girl, she ate the beans every day for a week. Beans cause gas, and they cause gastric distress. So you have gas, you have bloating, you have all this discomfortability, and you start to hold water. So weight stayed the same for an entire week because I'm monitoring it every day. Finally, I figured out, she told me that she was eating beans every day. And so I said, stop eating the beans. All right, let's eat some normal vegetables, take the beans out. Literally within like a day or two, like 2 pounds went away, gone. So she was actually making progress, but her body couldn't show it because she had too much gastric distress. So our digestion is so very important, all right? The very last one is muscle and fat, because that's the slowest one. Muscle and fat aren't changing on a daily basis. It takes weeks and weeks and months for that to actually change your fat to muscle ratio. This stuff is not changing on a daily basis. You ain't put on 1 pound, you ain't put on 2 pounds of muscle overnight, bruh. Like, it ain't happening. So when you get on the scale, you have to have a checklist. You have to have a checklist. And I'm going to go ahead and list these. We're going to talk about them in the next video, but I want to list them so you guys can see them. There's a checklist, right? All right, so like I said, you got to say, did I poop yesterday? All right, am I holding water? Like, look at your body. Like, do you feel like you're bloated, you're holding water? And you got to figure out why you're holding water. Ladies, your cyclone. Guys, you've been taking a supplement with creatine, right? But these other 5, all right, this is going to be your hydration levels, your sleep, all right, your diet, your stress, and your exercise. Those 5 things. You have to have this checklist, and this is the checklist you have to filter through every week, all right? And guarantee. Now, now obviously, you know, when you talk about your diet, you got to look back and say, is there anything that I ate that could have caused me to be holding water or be slowing up my digestion? A lot of times we just get selective amnesia, and we forget that, oh man, I forgot I had them donuts late at night, or them chips, or that barbecue sandwich, or this thing full of carbs and fat. And because you can't have all this stuff and expect to continuously make progress. People get selective amnesia. And no, you did not eat too little and got fatter. You didn't. It doesn't happen. So stop perpetuating that lie, because it's not possible. Your body can't burn more than you're eating and create fats or muscle. It's not possible. So whoever says that, ignore it. Now, what you can do, right? Actually, another client, she wasn't eating a lot. But what she was doing was drinking a lot of Powerades and Propels and stuff. So she was drinking all her calories and had a ton of electrolytes, right? So her weight wasn't moving or increasing because she was getting so many electrolytes. It was too much electrolytes, all right? So sports drinks are made to help your body to retain water. Electrolytes make your body retain water. Sodium is an electrolyte. So you can store a ton of water. You can go without eating for a long time, but your body can continuously survive off the water that you consume. So you can gain all water weight because your body is just packing that water away. All right. And then the little bit of food that you do eat, your metabolism is still slowing way down. So that is where people also see failure on the scale because of just trying desperate measures and doing the wrong thing. All right. Eating too little and then starving, and then late at night getting that bag of chips and eating it. And you think because the bag of chips don't weigh that much that it ain't that many calories, and it's like 8 servings in that bag of chips of 150 calories a piece. So now you just got yourself 1,200 calorie bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, the labels are wrong. The food labels are made to trick you. They're going to say healthy, high in protein, all this, that. No, it's got all the preservatives, and it's got more calories than what they report. This stuff is not regulated, y'all. So you can't even trust what they put on these labels. So that's why people are so lost. We're lost because we don't understand how to look at the scale. Our labels are lying to us. We don't know how many calories we're eating. But this guy here, he doesn't care. He doesn't care what the label says. All he cares is what information you give him when you step on to this platform. And so that's why it's trial and error. It's trial and error. All right, it's data, right? The only way I can know if something's working to help me lose weight is if I get that information. I want that information as much as possible. I get on my scale all the time. And yes, I do get frustrated with it. I do sometimes. I get frustrated with it. But I'm like, what is it? What did I do? Did I eat the wrong thing? Did I eat too much? Did I not get enough sleep? I'm going through this checklist every time, And pretty much all the time, even me, I can find out what I did wrong. I can fix it and I can change on the scale. Now, occasionally, like, I've been putting on muscle for, I started off when I started training like 212, 215 or so. That was like 12 years ago. I didn't start lifting weights again until like 2014. After my football career was over, I didn't start lifting weights again until like 2014. So since 2014, was that almost 8 years? That was late 2014. So pretty much seven and a half years or so. I've been putting on about 2 pounds of muscle a year. And occasionally I'm like, man, my weight is up now. And, it's not going down back to its usual level. I'm talking about within 2 or 3 pounds though. So then I go and check my body fat, and I realize that my body fat is similar to what it was at this time, but I'm still heavier. That means that I gained muscle. But this is a long-term process. This is not something that's short-term. So guys, I just want to try to convince you guys you got to pay closer attention to what you're doing. You got to understand the data. How much water consumption? How much sodium consumption? What is this label telling me? Is this label for real? This is why you have to eat more consistently. The similar things. You have to build your menu slowly based on what this guy is telling you. You build your menu. If something works, you stick to it. All right. And then you change one thing. Right. So my breakfast every day, I eat a smoothie and I eat eggs every day. All right. So I might change my lunch around. Sometimes I'll change my dinner around, but at least I have that consistent thing. And I know that if I have a menu, a daily menu that I know will help me to maintain or lose weight. Right. And then you build that over time. And that way it's foolproof. Because this guy told me. I just want somebody to answer me how we're going to get out of this predicament. How? It ain't by doing this. It ain't that. So I'm just, I coach people. It works every time. Now, people realize that they aren't as committed as they thought they were because there's fast food everywhere. We got food addictions to deal with. And the food addictions are real, especially sugar. You know what I'm saying? These hyper palatable foods. So you have to start from scratch and you have to claw your way out from under those addictions. How do you do that? Fasting. Reset your taste buds. Eat regular foods. Reset. That's what you do with fasting. So I'm trying not to make this video too long. So the rest of my rant, I'm gonna put into the next video, man. But I can't tell y'all enough, man, how valuable having a simple this thing can change. This thing right here can change the world, man. This thing right here, the world, Craig. This just right here will change the world if people are willing to use it. Stop listening to people telling you not to step on it. That ain't gonna get it done. All right, I'll holler at y'all later, man. Always reppin'.